Welcome. In front of me I have the HUAWEI Band 11 Pro, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device and what it has to offer. Okay, so let's just get straight into this by quickly mentioning that I am not sponsored by any company. So whatever I'll be saying about this is strictly my own kind of opinion about it, which is uninfluenced by any company, HUAWEI or anyone else. So that gives me complete freedom to say whatever stupid crap that comes to my head. Yay. Anyway, let's just peel that off and get inside of the device. Yep. Oh, there we go. So here is our band. Oh, I'm holding it upside down, okay. Let's also see what else we got in the box. Are you kidding me? Just come out. Oh, you little listener. Okay, there we go. Well, if I were opening it up correctly, maybe that would have been easier. Anyway, here we have our charging cable, which is a magnetic one. So there we go. USB-A to this kind of proprietary magnetic plug, which only attaches one way. There we go. And we have some instruction in here, and well, that's it. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Oh, interesting. So in terms of the straps, let's start off with those. We have nice feeling silicone strap. I do have to give them props. Damn, this feels actually, let me just bring up a little bit more light. This feels superb in hand. That is a really nice feeling strap, and it is relatively soft, but it's not like awfully stretchy. So it doesn't, it's soft but not like cheap feeling when with that softness, but it actually has the exact opposite, like a quality feel. There's a lot of silicone straps that I've had here, and they, when they're usually soft, they're like very kind of, you know, stretchy and crappy, while the other way around, if they're not like stretchy, they are absolutely like rock hard, to the point that it sometimes might be uncomfortable to like wear it on your wrist because, you know, it's not as pliable. This one has basically the best of both worlds, I would say. And on top of that, the design right here is also superb. So apart from the buckle right here being made out of plastic, which I don't necessarily like, but it is cost cutting, I guess, you can technically replace it, as these usually have telescopic, you know, hinges right here, so you can just kind of pop it out like you can on normal watches. But what you can't really swap out is the straps themselves, as it's a proprietary kind of connection right here, very similar to what Samsung has for the S or Galaxy Watch 6, 7. No, wait, sorry, no, those were actually normal ones. I remember there was one. Oh no, I'm thinking about Oppo. Sorry, Oppo has very similar ones. At least they did in the first generation. I owned it, so it kind of gives me the vibes of it. And additionally, these seem to be plastic connection too, which is a bit odd. So yeah, I think this is plastic. So for durability purposes, this might not be as durable, as plastic does kind of wear out, and if it's being pulled really hard, it's probably going to break and pop out. But this is, you know, if it's being kept on your wrist, then it should be good and not pop out. Okay, had to pause for a moment. Anyway, continuing on. Displays wise, we actually have a pretty nice display looking. It's obviously taller, you can see it's more squarish, kind of boxish design. But interestingly enough, I popped this out. Let's have like an interesting kind of shape where it's a bit more rounded all around. So And that is just like a nice flare. And on top of that, one of the things that is being marketed with this specific one is that the body here is made out of aluminum, So aluminum alloy case. So all this around is made out of aluminum. Now that's for better or for worse, I would say. Better, it looks more premium obviously, and adds a little bit more weight than plastic would. But worse is the fact that if you hit it over something, scratch it, aluminum isn't necessarily the most durable kind of material, so it is going to get scuffed up pretty easily, and it won't look as nice once it is. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, other than that, in here we have a 1.62-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 286 by 482 pixels, and puts it at 347 pixels per inch, which is pretty damn good display right here on just a watch. Now, additionally, this is going to be running its own kind of proprietary software, so it's not like Wear OS or anything like that, which obviously that has some benefits and some drawbacks. Benefits would be one of the, in my opinion, more important ones: battery life, because usually these bands have their own kind of proprietary software. They get to cut out all the garbage from Google that is just completely draining the battery because it's spying on you permanently, right? Here, not so much. So we should have a pretty respectable battery if I can actually find the information on their own website. Let me actually just get rid of the PL section. It's going to be a little bit easier for me to find. Please don't translate it to being... damn it. Give me a sec. Can I change the language here? Come on, Huawei. Apparently I can't. Okay. So I'll have to deal with this being in Polish. So apparently, battery-wise, this watch itself, or band, however you want to call it, holds about 14 days of battery life maximum, and obviously a little bit less depending on what you're going to be doing, what's on, like always on displays and so on, will drain the battery a bit faster. But maximum battery life right here, they're rating it for 14 days, which honestly, for normal usage of a band, this is pretty good. Now, it's not the best, I think. If I remember correctly, at least I used to own a Xiaomi band, though display wise, the one that I owned that had great battery life had less than stellar display, let's call it this way. It was black and white back then. It was like the first or second generation, I don't remember, but that gave me like usually a month of battery life, or even more at times, I think. It was a long time ago, but in any case, that battery life there was absolutely fantastic. Now, do not diminish this one. 14 days battery life is still pretty goddamn respectable for a device. So, compared to an Android watch that you need to charge at best every other day, charging it twice per month, this one is absolute improvement. Now, the obviously downside for this, it's not running Wear OS, so it has no options for applications. What comes with this band is what you get with this band. Any kind of applications or functionalities or connections to other applications or devices, if it's here from the box, then it is. If it's not, you're not getting it. So as an example, for instance, logging into Strava so you can track your workouts through Strava if you want that. Too bad, you're not doing that here. So that's going to be a downside to some people. But if you want to use the Huawei application for tracking all of that and you're stuck in there and you don't really care about things like Strava and stuff, then obviously it's not really that big of a drawback for you. And the battery life obviously will give you a nice kind of freedom to not need to stress that you're doing a workout where you tracking something and your battery percentage is draining faster than percent per minute. So so this way, this is a little bit more free to kind of do whatever you want. Okay, now anything else that I want to talk about here? In terms of connectivity to your device, we're looking for at Bluetooth 6.0 and 2.4 gigahertz connections. Works with Android 9.0 and up, or with iOS 13 and up. Now, I do want to point that out. It works with iOS, which means Apple. Something that, for instance, I recently tried to connect a Galaxy Watch 6 or 7, whichever one it was, to an iPhone. Like a relatively newer iPhone, and you can't, because it just won't let you. Even though it's running through Bluetooth and both devices support the damn thing, Apple is just being a whiny little cunt and won't let you do this because, God forbid, you would be using Android devices by the looks of it. But here, this one, you can connect to Apple by the looks of it, which is pretty good if you have an iPhone. Let's see. In terms of sensors, we're looking at accelerometer, gyroscope, magnetometer, I think that's how you pronounce this, optical heart rate sensor, and what's the name for it? The light sensor, for like ambient light sensor. There we go. There was the name. Like I said, I'm translating this as I go. So there we go. Now, one probably last thing to mention would be the price of this device, which I will need to quickly, actually I already checked it, it was 260 PLN. Now 260 PLN 60 is about $70. So for $70 you can get a pretty solid band with a decent battery life without any kind of Google on here and no installable applications, but great battery life, tracking, and a nice display. And in general, it's solid. You have other options at this price point too that might be a little bit smaller too, though that just really depends how you're counting the size. Volume wise, I think they will be about the same, but the newest Xiaomi Band should also be comparable to this one, with also great battery life, also very low price tag. So this could be an alternative to this one, and you can pick whichever one you want. They both will basically be achieving the same kind of thing, with just different brandings on it and different looks to it, as the Xiaomi Band is a little bit kind of tall and more like a pill kind of shape rather than rectangle shape that we have right here. But in any case, that sums up the look at this smart band. I will also be taking a look at the non-pro version of this in a moment after this video, so if you want to check that out, you can stick around for the next video. But in any case, that's about it. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.